Hello and welcome to yet another in our series of Forever Living Products special training webinars. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Bill Lewis and I'll be your host. I have with me a very successful couple who are members of the Global Leadership Team, having generated more than 7,500 case credits annually. Rebecca and Stuart Lake joined Forever in 2012. And can you believe that in 3 short years, they earned the title of Sapphire Manager? They've qualified as Eagle Manager and attended the retreats in Sardinia, Lake Tahoe, and Cancun. They're Level 3 Earned Incentive and Chairman's Bonus Level 2 qualifiers. In fact, here you see them receiving their check in Johannesburg along with their 2 sons, Louis and Edward. Today our topic is prospecting. The Lakes will share with us how they go about finding and preparing others to attend a business presentation. If you have any questions, there is a space in your control panel where you can submit them, and at the end of the presentation, we will address as many as time permits. So Rebecca and Stuart, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us today. The time is now yours, and I'll give you control of your panel. So if you can unmute yourselves. There you go. Rebecca, you there?
Yeah, hi. Hi, Bill. Yeah, we're here.
Okay, very good. Thanks so much. And let me give you control, put your screen on, and you're now the presenter. So thanks again for being with us.
No problem. It's our pleasure. Right. Okay. Right. Good afternoon to you all, and thank you for coming onto this call to listen to us today. So a little bit about myself. My name is Rebecca Lake, and I work my business alongside my husband, Stuart. But my background was in bridal retail, and I've worked in the family business for the last 20 years. We've been building our Forever business for the last 4 years, and it was an opportunity I came across after attending a business launch. But I wasn't what you described stressed. I worked full-time around my 2 small children, Louis and Edward. But the lady that held the meeting spoke of how she was building an income part-time around her family, and she told me about the holidays and the incentives that the company offered. My response was quite negative, and it just sounded to me if it was too good to be true, it probably was. So I wasn't really even open at that point to taking a look at the business. But I was very lucky. The lady that had introduced me to the launch was actually telling me, was very persistent, and she kept being very persistent to get me to take a look. And I do really believe that Forever finds you when you need it most. We had a comfortable income. We had a nice lifestyle, but what we didn't have was the dream life that we wanted. We wanted holidays and to travel. We wanted some savings and security. But what we had was ever-growing debt, stress, no time, and no way out. We started with Forever. We started with the Forever in February 2012 after viewing the business presentation. Stuart could see straight away the potential of Forever and how it could impact and change our lives. I, however, was still very sceptical. So initially, what we did was we built a large retail business. We developed a high retail income and progressed us through the marketing plan. And we made manager within 12 weeks. We achieved manager and quickly realised that we needed to learn and develop ourselves as leaders in order to help others move through the marketing plan. Within 4 years, we'd become Sapphire managers with 81 managers within our success line. So Forever has changed our lives beyond recognition. We live in a beautiful home, we drive nice cars, we're debt-free, but we have those savings and security now for our future. We love to travel with friends and family, and this year we were lucky enough to take our whole family out to South Africa to share with us picking up our chairman's bonus cheque. So we're forever grateful to Rex and Forever for our amazing team for enabling us to be able to share these memories with our family.
Right, good evening everybody. We're absolutely delighted to be with you. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my backgrounds before I pass you back to Rebecca, because we are looking at prospecting and recruiting tonight. I was very lucky that when I left school at 16 I walked into my dream job, and through my teen years all I'd ever wanted to do was play football. So at 16 years old I got a professional contract, and then that's exactly what I did, and I had the best 2 years of my life. I was playing football every day, and for me it was a boyhood dream that had come true. But unfortunately at 18 what happened, I got called down to the manager's office and he said, look Stuart, things haven't gone the way that we wanted to, so we're not going to give you a new contract. And unfortunately that's where my football career in full-time football finished. However, as we know, life goes on, and I did find another football club, and I moved into non-league football, but had 10 great years in non-league football. And that means all we did was we trained a couple of evenings in the week, and we played football on a Saturday. But I realised at 24 that I needed to start looking at a career. So I joined a local transport company, and I joined as their transport planner. And what I did for a long time, for 14 years, is I worked my way up the corporate ladder, and eventually I got myself to operations manager. But I worked extremely long hours, and I didn't see a lot of my family. But I did take huge pride in what I was achieving, because I was working really hard to move up that corporate ladder. I had a big responsibility of running a huge fleet of vehicles, and that was the name of the company that I worked for. However, it was beginning to dawn on me that this was probably as good as it's going to get for Rebecca and I. And it took Rebecca 6 months for me to take a look at the opportunity, but eventually we did on the 19th of February 2012. And when I seen the marketing plan, for me that was it. It was a fantastic opportunity, and as Rebecca said, we run with it quite quickly. In month 4 of the business, what Rebecca didn't say, she actually earned more money than me working forever part-time than I did, working 60 plus hours a week. So that really grabbed my attention. And as Bill said, I think one of the turning points for Rebecca and I in 2013 was the Eagle Manager trip. It was our first trip that we qualified in 2012. We were really excited about going. And when we listened to the leaders in the business at the Eagle Manager retreat, it completely changed our mindsets of what could be achieved with this business. So we got really serious with the business in the April that year, and as Rebecca said, we've gone on to achieve some great things working alongside Forever. And some of the people we brought into the business are going on to achieve the things as well, which brings back to obviously prospecting and what we're going to cover this evening with you. So I'll be back shortly. I'm just going to pass you back on to Rebecca now.
Yes, so tonight on this call, it's really to share some training and how we coach and try and train our team to be able to prospect effectively, but on how to do it, how to find those people and where to find your people. So it all starts very much with your business story, and your business story is a key way of helping you being able to share the opportunity really effectively, because you're looking for people just like you. And when you've got your business story intact, your background, why you were joining Forever, what you have achieved or what you were working towards, it really is very inspiring to others to make them want to find out more information. So for instance, I was working full-time, I had 2 children, and I was in debt and very limited time. So how many other people could be in exactly the same situation as me, looking for an opportunity to be able to build an income? So by me sharing my reasons of how I wanted to build a business, how I wanted to be able to supplement my family with a certain amount of money, and when I was doing that and sharing it with friends and family and work colleagues, people were very interested to find out if this opportunity would suit them too. So I was looking for different people that were involved in retail. I was looking for people that I could share the income opportunities with. I was looking for people that were in debt like I was, that were looking for a different way out. So by having your business story crafted, it allows you to be able to talk to people really effectively. Now, it doesn't matter if what you're working towards you haven't yet achieved, because by sharing your goals and what you're going to achieve one day and what you're going to hopefully go on to progress with the company, it's really inspiring to others. I knew with complete conviction from the moment I got involved with Forever that I one day would be going on to achieve the holidays, to achieve a full-time income, to be able to do that and to share it with people. So by getting that business story completely crafted, it really does work for you. So I'm just going to pop you onto the next slide. So here we're going to pop you on. Do you, Stu?
Is it my slide, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, one of the most important things when you start your business is the 1 to 300 list, and it is really, really important to do it for prospecting, because if you don't do it, you're not going to give yourself the best opportunity to recruit people when you start. And let's be honest this evening, if you're not really going to be able to build a business. Now, when we joined in 2012, I was really guilty of not doing this list correctly. I put 15 to 20 people on that list because what I did is I fell into the trap of prejudging people. And the 15 to 20 people I put on that list were probably not the quality of prospect I was looking for. You know, the people that I'd probably be looking for to build a business, or what I call put onto my chicken list. They looked as though they were already leading, you know, a good lifestyle. They drove a nice car, they lived in a nice house, and everything seemed really, really good. So why would I want to contact them about a business opportunity? So I actually put those sort of people on my chicken list. It wasn't until I learned much further on down in the business that there are so many people looking for an extra income. It's just that when I started, I only put these 15 to 20 people down. And like many, I just jotted down the names of people that were probably, you know, in my current network who I thought could do with a few extra £100. You know, so many people only put 10 names down thinking they're the 10 people that are going to make them rich. However, in reality, we all have a long history of people that we come into contact with through school, through college, through your first jobs, through social events. It was just at the time of joining, these people were not in my current network. Now, there was obviously working with the First Steps to Manager, you get a great memory jogger to help you think of people that have been in your past. Now, it's an easy state to me out thinking, you know, you don't know enough people, because that's what I thought when I joined the business. Rebecca had a far bigger network of people than what I did. And, you know, to build a business, you know, it's good to show a prospect who's maybe in the same position that this is how we can look at growing your network quite quickly, because they'll instantly think, just like I did in 2012, is I haven't really got a big enough network to grow a business, because as we know, we need to show people the business opportunity in order to grow one. So many lists will start with your warm market friends, you know, your family, your current network, work colleagues and social network, and these contacts will tend to be in your phone. Now, some people again are a bit wary of maybe approaching their warm market to start with, maybe scared of the response, maybe a little bit of negativity, you know, because we've all suffered that, or maybe just the lack of response and interest in the opportunity as well. And I've also had people come in my team as well that within the first week they've gone through the whole list, and then they're really surprised when nobody's joined, because what they've actually done is they've just sent the same message out, maybe on social media, maybe on their inbox, maybe on the text message to everybody, and then they're wondering why they haven't had, you know, a really good success with doing that. You don't have to contact everybody on the list, but what you really are doing is emptying your head of names in there so you can refill it with new names every day. And as I said, you can use the memory jogger to log into, you know, professions to help you do that. So nurses, tradesmen, office workers, you know, people from engineering backgrounds, school teachers, armed forces. There's lots of different people that you would have come into contact. And as I said, the reason you're probably not thinking of them at the moment is because they're just not in your current network. So, you know, a couple of examples to maybe expand your prospect list are, you know, write down 10 people that you went to school with, five people that you worked with the first 2 jobs that you did. 3 people that currently live in your street, 3 people that you currently socialise with, 5 people who you worked away, in their jobs, and maybe 5 moms who are currently at home looking after the children and obviously doing, the mom thing by doing the school runs and stuff like that. Quite quickly, that list is not so scary because we broke it down into little categories that helps you build that list. And as I said, once you start to clear your head of names, it helps you because you can start thinking about new people, way to do that. For those listening this evening, a great way to approach some of your prospects is to maybe ask for a referral first. You don't have to just go in with the business. Something that we've learned and something that we actively coach within our teams, so they don't alienate their network straight away. So it could be that they just go in with the referral. So let's just say, for example, Joe, how's things, Joe? Are you still busy with the job? Did you know, Joe, I started a brand new business last week, which has just taken off, but I know this business is not going to be for you because you've got commitments with your job, with your children and stuff like that. But what I am looking for is maybe somebody who is looking to build an extra income flexibly, working from home. And what I'm going to do, Joe, if you don't mind, is I'm going to attach a little 5-minute video. And if you do know of anybody, would you mind passing on the video to me? Now, what that does is you're not trying to recruit that person. You don't come across as though you're trying to recruit the person that you're sending the message to. Now, the video that you are sending will have some correspondence to the person that you're sending to. But what you're actually doing is, you're opening up without alienating the network quite quickly. And, as I said, within that video will be some sort of information that would be relevant to the person that you're sending it to. Now, your prospect's probably thinking, well, why is it not going to be for me? They are going to watch the video. It's just that the way that you've put the message across, it's going to get interesting. In most occasions, having less in that message will actually mean more because they will have a look at it and think, well, why is it not for me? And I am going to watch that video. So don't be overselling on the first communication. You don't want them to make a decision without looking at something visual, and the best case scenario is getting to meet you as well. It's the type of videos that we attach to those messages could be, Aidan's done a fantastic video, but more actively what we've done within our group is we've coached people to do their own 5-minute videos from different backgrounds. So if we were talking to a nurse, we would have a 5-minute video by a nurse, or if somebody worked in as a tradesman, within our team, we've got a painter and decorator that was able to rack up his business within 12 months to be able to do forever. So, it's a powerful 5-minute video to send to somebody, maybe who's got a similar background, but again, the way that you come across is saying, boy, this is probably not going to be for you because I know you're really, really busy at the moment. I can see that you've got a lot going on with work, but you wouldn't happen to know anybody that would like to look at the opportunity. And then we would send the video, but the video would be relevant to them. And again with social media, it's a great way to be able to contact more people in order to do that. And something that's worked for me on a personal note is I've dug out old photos, particularly with social media, and you can obviously spot me a mile off there with the ginger hair in the picture at the top. But that's what I started out to do. As I said, I was a 16-year-old willing to play football, and obviously we've all grown up together. That was 20-something years ago. But what we did is we popped that picture up, and quite quickly I was able to reconnect with people from 20 years ago because I was friends with 1 or 2 on there, but I wasn't friends with all of them. And what happened is people started to tag friends who were in that picture. So again, I could grow my network, and again with the Chelsea Football Club there, it was able to grow my network through social media just by putting an old picture of there and bringing old contacts back into my life. You can look at using frogs, which is friends, relatives, organisation, geography, same name. I gave you some categories there, but do you know friends of friends? Do you know friends of your relatives? Do you know anyone who works in the same place or the industry? Again, so what we're doing is we're able to, expand your network by getting you to think about, these type of things. And again, using STEAM, sales, advertising, events, mobile phone sales, gym memberships. These are all things that Rebecca and I have done because we've recruited people from the gym, we've recruited people from the banking background. We've been able to go, we've got a really good team of teachers within our group as well, because teachers are working extremely long hours at the moment and probably not getting back what they're putting into their industry. So now looking at a different way, and of course that way is with Forever. Enthusiastic, people that are bubbly, eager, keen, have a great attitude, that are always positive, and obviously people. We come down to money. Who likes money? Well, of course we all like money, because having money obviously gives you more choices in life to do the things that you really want to do. But of course most people lack money, and we're able to show them an opportunity, maybe change their financial circumstances by showing this opportunity to them.
Right, so looking for that hot button. The hot button is going to be able to give you a reason that you can help somebody connect with your business. Now, your job is to find a reason that you can help them with to be able to build a business that can get them out of an unhappy situation. So there can be lots of different reasons for this, but when people are looking to be involved in your opportunity, they're going to be more open to it if there's something in their life that's making them uncomfortable. But it's uncomfortable enough to make a change, and it can be for lots of different reasons. So when we're looking at for somebody, it can be the lack of money or low income or debt. This is a huge stress for lots of families. You can have poor career progression, no prospects for promotion, or they're limited to the position that they're currently in. If they're unhappy at work, it's when you're offering an opportunity, that's one of the reasons that they're going to be open to looking at more information. The lack of childcare or maternity expense, a huge expense to lots of families, and also that stress of having to return to work and missing out on the milestones of having little ones. A lot of people want to be at home and want to be able to give their care to their children, but they're forced back to work because they've got to pay the bills and put food in their bellies. So if you can show them another way that they can do something a little bit more flexibly, you're going to have more success. So, and being unhappy in the workplace, people have massive targets to hit, they have pressure, they have stress, and it is leading to lots of unhappy people in the workplace. That expectation of working longer hours for no extra pay, or it might be a sort of more of a want goal. It might be looking at a new car or car repairs, car insurance, but it's an expense that if you can show somebody how to earn an income, then it becomes a better family budget for them. So it could be holidays, mini breaks, family holidays. Holidays are luxury for most people. So if you can show them a way that they can have that extra income to provide some of the luxuries in life, they're going to be more receptive. So long commutes to work, that extended travelling to and from work every day is hard for lots of people. Redundancy, by even facing the threat of redundancy, makes people reevaluate the importance of having that stable income, because people panic. They need to know where their next paycheck is coming from, and when things are very unstable, it causes a lot of stress. So you can show them how they can have that plan B really effectively. So no work-life balance. People are prepared to work to give themselves a nice lifestyle, but when you're just working to live and not having anything spare, it doesn't become a pleasurable experience. So people are looking for another way or a change of direction, something new. So when I was looking at profiling somebody, I would try and think of those reasons of how I could help somebody that I was talking to about the business. So I'd be looking at their occupation, whether I thought they had that sort of commute involved or whether they did felt appreciated, so I could make some notes when I was prospecting them. Obviously having that objective, what it is that you're wanting to do, why you think the business will work for them, and how you can sort of connect them with that hot button, and what kind of personality that they have. Are they outgoing? They got a good attitude? Are they willing to learn? Are they open to going to trainings? There's lots of different reasons that people can have. So what you're needing to do is to make notes when you're profiling so that you have those notes there so that you can use it really effectively. So expanding again who you know. So with contact marketing, tabletop events. Tabletop events are an absolute perfect introduction to contact marketing, and it's a way that you can collect data from potential customers for both products and for business. Your personal network, again, you've got online events, launches, setting up a Facebook event and inviting all of your Facebook friends provides a very informal overview of the business and products. Friends can be using Facebook anyway, so why not show them a way to make some money at the same time? And it is a great way of identifying what of your friends are watching you on Facebook, because when you set up these groups, and you can add little videos in, you can add product information, little competitions, you can see the people that log in and actually contribute, that are asking questions, that have liked and commented on anything. And those people that have taken the time to come in and have a look at what this little online event is a great way of establishing who is watching what you're doing on Facebook, who's following your posts. And it's a great way, again, to get some new customers, but also be growing your business and showing people how they can build those businesses online too. So launches, this is probably my very best way of prospecting. This is where I'm really comfortable with the business. It's actually my favourite part of the business, helping people to be able to get an income from retailing products. But you've got an open network of people in front of you, and it allows you to really engage and find if there's any kind of reasons that you can help somebody, any interest in the business, the way that you talk to people. You can really be very direct and ask some direct questions, and in that kind of environment I find it works really well. So if I'm doing a launch for myself, I'm looking for interest for the business and products, but also if I'm doing it for a team member to help them to grow their customer base, but also it gives me a prime opportunity to talk to their friends without being a very hard sell. It's really where I'm happiest, because that's really what the business is about for me, helping somebody to build an income, but also to recruit some people. Taking that on just a little bit, happy customers with every product that's purchased. I do follow up with an invitation to look at the business. A happy customer that's already happy with your products, it's easy for them to totally recommend products themselves, or even to start to build a business and develop people, because they're already happy with the products. They can talk about it completely with confidence. So, and at this point, if it was, I would be looking at maybe talking about the possibility of somebody coming in as a Novus customer. They wouldn't have to initially join with a full box, but they can join as a Novus customer with that 15%, which again, happy customers really value that, because they can talk to their friends and network to be able to help develop themselves an income too. So referrals, if you offer information and it's a no, not for me right now, I always ask if I may continue to follow up over the next 12 months, because you just don't know when situations for somebody may change, or when they might have an interest to reassess looking at the business again. But always ask for a referral. You wouldn't just happen to know of one person that would be open to earning an extra income. Often people want to help people, so it might not be for them, but they might have a friend, a relative, a neighbour that they know could do with earning an extra income. They can connect to you straight away, and again, if they're interested in the business, those referrals are going to go onto your who do you know list, but going into your pipeline. But the potential there is of a new team member or helping somebody to develop a business. So leaflet drops, Leaflet drops are really amazing, and when I meet fellow business owners, I'm always interested to know how they were recruited into the business. Obviously, I was from a launch, but lots of my friends were actually recruited from leaflet drops. But you have to be really consistent with a leaflet drop. If you're going to pick a street, you need to be very consistent in doing that same street once a week for a month, 6 weeks, because it's that repetition of the same flyer or invitation dropping on somebody's mat when they pick it up and actually think, do you know, what is this? What is this that keeps coming through the door every week? And if they've happened to have face a conversation at work that they've come home not very happy and then they pick that up off the mat when they get in, it's a really powerful way of thinking, you know what, I'm going to perhaps contact this person and have a look. So don't underestimate the power of a leaflet drop. Local advertising, you've got church newsletters, you've got school newsletters, local press, village magazines. I find it to be an effective way of connecting in different areas if you're looking for a kind of person as well. So you look at, maybe if I was looking for some mums that wanted to earn an extra income in the school holidays, whatever it might be, it allows you to target effectively outside of your sort of locational area. So networking clubs. Networking clubs are a great way to network and build relationships for both business and for products. And we found this in a really effective way to develop your pipeline. But you've got to be really proactive at a networking club, and you've really got to get involved. It's about referring business to each other. So it's not just about you going there to recruit everybody that attends. It's about going there to develop a network, to develop different friends, and be genuinely interested in what people do. So it's not just about how they can benefit you, but how you can benefit them. You collect the business cards and do your very best to refer business that you come into contact with. So if somebody was looking for a tradesman and there was somebody that you'd met at your networking group, tag them in on social media, refer the telephone number, because if you can really get that working, when people receive referrals from you, they're more inclined to put those referrals back. So it works in a real networking way, but you've got to go above and beyond to help other people first. So I'm just going to take you on to the next slide. So wherever you go, we are paid as business owners to make connections. It's all about making friends and having a genuine interest in other people. So you get paid to go out in the world and just be interested in others. That's what we do as professional network marketers. And some days, you know, you'll have more successful days than others, but it is about going out there and being really consistent with your activity. So by making only 2 new friends a day will give you over 730 friends in 1 year. So by getting into the habit of being super consistent and adding that, you could be making 2 to 5 new friends every day. You can do 10, depending on how active you want to be with this. And this is the difference between how quickly you want your business to move or whether you want to take it at a steady pace. If you want to move through the marketing plan quicker, you've got to grow your network and develop it far faster. So contact marketing. This is effectively going people shopping to be able to find people to talk to about the business. Now, this could be anybody that gave you good customer service. It can be somebody you stop in the street. You can go out with a recruiting banner. But contact marketing is a really effective way. And some people just really generate towards contact marketing quite naturally. And sometimes if you you think, oh, I'm not having any success, it's really good to break it up with another string to your bow and go contact marketing. Great way to do it as a team as well, because if you go out with your team, we have little competitions where we take a group of people out and we go out, and in the morning it's the first 1 to 10 numbers. First 1 to 10 numbers doesn't get to buy the coffee, they get their coffee bought for them. And then we'll stop for a break, reassess and see how people are getting on. It really builds a great team spirit as well. So what is it that we say? It's like, excuse me, I know this seems a little bit random, but your service today has been exceptional. You've been so open and bubbly. Pay a compliment to somebody. If you pay a compliment to somebody, people are really receptive of what you're going to say next. So I'm recruiting at the moment, and I'm looking for people that may be open to earning an extra income around what they're currently doing. People, when you stop them, I've never had anybody ever be rude to me. When I've been contact marketing, people may say no occasionally, but people are usually really, because you stop with a nice smile and you're very interested, it works really, really well. So if you start having a conversation with somebody, there's a couple of ways. You can either ask them to jot their number down for you, pop it on a receipt if you were being served. Otherwise, one of the key things that we coach with our team is we literally hand our phones over and say, could you please, are you on Facebook? Brilliant. Could you find yourself? Let them go onto your Facebook, add them in the search bar. When it's on, add them. And then while they're talking to you there, you know, get them to accept you, because then you've got a new connection to be able to follow up. And even if when you follow them up and you don't get much of a response, you've got somebody in your network that's going to continue watching you develop your business. So one of the key ones that we say, so excuse me, sorry to stop you, I know this seems really random, but I've actually stopped you because you look fabulous, you're into your health, gorgeous skin, quirky smile, whatever it might be, working with a purpose. But having an animated conversation and being smart, really smiley, you look really open. You're really open to it, and people, you know, will be really happy to talk to you. I help people build extra incomes or replace incomes in small pockets of time around what you're currently doing at the moment. So what is it that you do already? And whatever it is that they say to you, say, oh, I bet you really enjoy that. But in an ideal world, would an extra income be useful to you? And of course, most people are going to reply with yes. So great, what's your number? And I'll get some information to you. Obviously, it can be a number. Some people just aren't as open to giving you a phone number. But in this world of social media, people are usually really open to giving you a Facebook ad. So it works really effectively. So you need to keep really documented details so that when you do follow up, you know who it is that you're talking to, a little bit of a reminder about what they were like, why you liked them, why you prospected them, because you will have a kind of avatar of a person, of that sort of diamond that you're looking for. So, you know, make some notes so you can be really effective what you spoke about, so that sometimes when you're following people up, it can be a 6 months process. It won't always be that the first person that you contact market will give you their name and details. You'll talk to them on the phone, you'll bring them online for a business presentation, get them as a guest to the business presentation. Sometimes it takes a good period of time in between to keep them really, to warm them up. So, excuse me, what I would do at that point is that when we'd added them on Facebook, meanwhile, while I'm sending some information, before sending a recording, or maybe before getting them online or to a business presentation, what we do is we have a page that's called a success page on Facebook, and it's just a group. Within that group, what we do is lots of people that are having success with us have put a little testimonial, so a photograph of them, photograph maybe of their achievements, how old they are, their background, why they do the business, if they have children, how they manage to balance the business around everything else. And then you add your new prospect into that group, and it allows your new prospect to see exactly how people are doing working with you. So it also helps that if you've got somebody with a certain background, possibly a hairdresser or somebody involved in banking, you can tag that same person in to be able to give them a really good testimonial. So it makes it really powerful before taking them onto the business opportunity. So this elusive question, so what is it that you do? What is it you do? And it's having that elevator pitch ready so that you can have an answer, something that we talk about all the time, and this is something that we coach in trainings, because it really is important that you know how to answer that question. So literally, I help people build their own business from home part-time around other things that they do. We work a lot with Phil Jones. He's a mind coach within the UK. And one of the he does what we call our magic words. When Phil creates a conversation or some words that you use, you always get a really good response. So this is one that we use that I've put out for you today. So, well, at the moment, I'm a teacher, but I've also got this really cool part-time thing going on that I'm working on to replace my income. Lives find themselves working more hours than they'd like for less money than they deserve, which means that they don't have the time or the money to enjoy their downtime. Well, what I do is I help people to build an additional income part-time around what they do, which means that they can either buy back some time or have a better work-life balance or sack the boss altogether. We find that anything that Phil says really, really works. So you need to have a look at that and try that, learning that elevator pitch, because that will be really effective when people ask you what it is that you do. So I'm just going to pass you back over to Stuart now.
Okay. So Rebecca's talked about, and I know Bill wanted us to touch on about keeping prospects warm, but I think Rebecca pretty much covered it with what we do with social media pages. Is we can add people in so they can see success stories, so we don't have to keep going back and sending them a message, giving them a phone call, because what they're seeing is a lot of success within the Facebook page, and people can relate to that with different backgrounds. What we've done here is we still follow the business cycle in terms of building a business and contacting somebody, showing them, sending them a little bit of information. But what we do is we just go around the system a lot quicker, because we have got online business presentations, we have got different 5-minute videos from lots of people within our team with different backgrounds that we can send to people, what Rebecca and I have done is created a social imprint across the networks where, if anybody, YouTube does or Vimeo does, we've got a 5-minute presentation on there backed up with an online presentation. So literally within 35 minutes, people can, click from one to the other on the different social networks. People are going to come out of your pipeline when they feel it's the right time, but what you can do is control your activity and the pipeline of prospects that you put in there. So as soon as somebody's had a one-to-one, now this is not somebody that you've just spoken to or just had a 5-minute video, this is somebody that's been to a business presentation, they've seen an online business presentation, you've done a one-to-one with them, they go into your pipeline, and if you're going to build a business, then you need at least a minimum of 20 prospects in that pipeline. And I said, you can't control if it's the right time for that person. Lots of people have joined our business over the last 3 or 4 years, and they didn't join the first time that we sat down and done a one-to-one. In some cases it took 2 years for people to join the me is when I was contacting 5 to 10 people a day about the business and about the products, depending on how warm they were or how receptive they were to the opportunity, I would have a diary. So my diary would be my 5 to 10 prospects in there, and as I said, depending on how warm or how receptive I felt they were, then I would just move them forward in my diary to 6 to 8 weeks, some maybe 3 months, some maybe 6 months, and when I came to that date in my diary, not did I only have my new people to contact, I had my I had my follow-ups to do to see if it was the right time or the right opportunity for them. So, we became really professional and really good at following up people. And the best example of a couple within our business, it took them 2 years to join the business, but literally, they watched us and watched us and watched us, and then it just happened to be the right time because they tried 2 of the products, had fantastic results, and that was it. They were away, and for 2 years they just kept watching us, and we kept prodding them and sending them a little bit of information. But eventually it was the right time, and they were in our pipeline. So, Rebecca and I have always have got a healthy pipeline of prospects, and eventually what people do is they drop out month on month and join the business. You know, we've created our social print across the networks: Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo, LinkedIn, Instagram. You know, people can, you know, as I said, YouTubers, Instagrammers, they will find us, and more often than not from our website, they can go onto, you know, those channels as well, and what they'll find is, as I said, an online business presentation or a 5-minute video. So again, we're creating interest not only through, you know, the traditional ways of contact marketing and leaflet dropping and stuff like that. We've also got our presence on social media as well. So I think that's me done. I'm just going to hand you back on to Rebecca. I know she's got a couple more things to do, and then I think, Bill, if you want to ask any more questions, we're more than happy to answer those. So I think, Rebecca, you're just going to wrap up.
Yes, so building that social media presence is a massive prospecting tool. Ideally, you need to become effective at 2 or 3 to start off with. The internet makes the world a very small place, with Facebook, YouTube, Instagram being my favourites. They're really powerful tools, but you've got to be really careful that you don't get into spam messages, as the idea is to be able to reconnect with people, as Stuart mentioned earlier, and create new contacts and new followers. But it's all about showing a genuine interest in the other person. Facebook gives you huge access to friends, to your friends, but also your friends of your friends. And if you haven't done so already, print off your Facebook friends list and highlight the people that you most want to work with, that you think would be a benefit, that you could help with the business, but also would benefit you too. When you have selected those key people that you would really like in your business, what you want to do is select those people to come up first in your news feed. So when you click on to see first, when you've got a new connection, you can see first, follow, or unfollow. What you want to do is you want to highlight them as a see first. So anything that they do put on their social media allows you to not miss anything, so that it allows you to really be connecting with them on a real regular basis. And it really does help to strengthen a relationship on Facebook for somebody that you're responding to regularly. Also, remember that you've got to, when people are following your journey, allow them to follow and be interested, but you've got to remember that sort of 80-20 rule, that it's 80% lifestyle, and what social networking is about is living your life and letting people have an insight into your life and business. I do find that if you are too full on for the business, what people do, it will turn people off. It will make them negative against what you're trying to achieve. So what you always want to do is really let them have an insight into your life, and that can be baking a cake with the children. It can be some downtime, having a picnic, but it means that you've always got to be upbeat, positive. You know, put some nice motivational posts on. You don't know who's having a bad day, and just seeing what you've posted that's uplifting and nice makes them think, do you know what, they're always so happy, and they want to know why you're so happy. It's a great way of interacting with people. So if you're doing anything with the business, do something a little bit more creative. Go on to do your live feed. If you're doing a live feed from a product launch, or interview a team member that's just made a promotion, you want to be getting those things. People will click on a video, they will watch a little video, whatever it might be, rather than, you know, everybody puts a photograph on Facebook now. It's constantly, we live in an age of looking into people's lives, but a little bit of a video gives you that little bit more of an insight. So also, when you're looking at your business page, you can be doing your boosted posts. You can make your presence shown. Now, you don't have to be spending a large budget. You can have ones that are spending a couple of dollars every single day, but it just allows more people, and you can target your audience. When you've selected a boosted post or a Facebook advert, you can actually tick the kind of criteria of the person that you're looking for, the age ratios, the geographical locations, and that can be anywhere in the world. But if there are different target areas that if you wanted to be building a business, You can look for maybe a female between the ages of 21 to 30, or you can have some, and then you can actually tag in the interests that they possibly might be looking at. Now that could be, you might be looking for people that are interested in holidays so that you can talk to them about incentives. Whatever it might be, business pages do work really well and give you, again, a very professional presence on Facebook so that people can look into your business presence and your personal profile on both platforms using Facebook. So that is a really powerful tool. Also with that as well, Instagram, and using your hashtags effectively to grow your followers. And then you can obviously create interest by following people back and creating messages and contacts through the direct messages. So if those are avenues that you haven't yet looked at, they're really important to sort of research and get involved in, because all of, like Stuart said, all of these different social media platforms sit beautifully against sort of the traditional methods of prospecting, but nothing can ever be as powerful as a face-to-face meeting, or secondly that a phone call. It is phone calls and face-to-face meetings that will actually work faster. But obviously when you're developing your cold market contacts, it takes a little bit of time to warm those up. But again, they are still really powerful tools. So I hope that's helped you a little bit this evening with a few ideas of prospecting and where to find some people to develop those pipelines, and wishing you all the very best for the rest of 2016 going into 2017.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Rebecca and Stuart, for taking the time out to share all this with us. Specific proven techniques on how to recruit and develop prospects. And we have no doubt now why you've accomplished so much in Forever, and say to you congratulations for everything that you've been able to achieve. So thank you so much. We do have a couple of questions here for you, it looks like. Let me start with the first one. Is the Success Facebook group that you mentioned open to other FBOs outside your network? It would be helpful to share success stories of ordinary people with those just starting Forever.
Yeah, no, what we do is we keep them in small team groups, really being because we want to keep it very personal. If it gets too big, when people are added into the groups, there'd be so much traffic going past, which was what we did originally, but we found it lost the personal touch. So we keep the group small, and we have different manager groups that have small groups, so that a few of the bigger managers are in there. But obviously when there's, say that we've got a really great manager that's under 25, that a lot of her network is really very young, young university graduates, we may not appeal to them a lot because we're sort of in our 40s, so that our backgrounds won't be similar and won't be as interesting to them. So we try and keep them sort of age ranges so that they'll have similar likes, similar opportunities, so and backgrounds, so it's a little bit more inspiring for them. But obviously we do sort of cross along all of the age ranges so that people can see, you know, what people are doing and what people are achieving.
Okay, thank you very much. Here's another one. Have you done an online business launch via Facebook? Was it effective, and how did you go about it?
Yeah, Facebook launches, when we create those, what we actually do is you invite people to an event on Facebook. Then when you're running it, they're very effective. Some people within my team, a few people sometimes get together and run it as a small team, doing it together, so that there's 3 or 4 people adding different images in, different videos, different personal experiences. But some people just run them on their own, to especially if it was, say, a Christmas campaign or a Valentine's or Mother's, geared towards that particular occasion. or you could just run a weight management night where you can share different reviews, you can share different testimonials and how people have achieved doing the programs. And that they work really very well, because sometimes people won't make the effort to actually leave the house and come and attend a launch. But if you're making it very easy for them to get online in between watching their normal TV, and they're going to be on Facebook anyway, they can click on and have a look. And I think as well, people do it because they're really quite interested to see exactly what is going on. And when you can show somebody quite effectively that from a launch, whether it be online or in person, that they can make a good retail profit, people then are inclined to look at the business and more products. So yeah, they work very effectively.
Great. Thank you very much. That looks like that's all we've got time for today. But Rebecca and Stuart, again, thank you. You've given us some fantastic ideas, and we look forward to seeing you at future global rallies and receiving even higher and higher chairman's bonus checks. And we're just very, very proud that you're in our forever family. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bill.
Thanks for having us, Bill.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Well, it's time to close for today. This webinar has been recorded, and it'll be available for your review in probably on Monday. It will be posted on Monday at our normal Vimeo site. You'll be sent a link. Don't miss out on our next webinar in 2 weeks, when we'll provide training on how to coach a fit challenge. That's how to coach a fit challenge. In the meantime, we wish for you all the success you desire as you continue to build your forever business. Bye for now.